Hey everybody, welcome to the 1804 show, chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is another episode of 1804 History. Yeah. So I just wanted to say to everybody, thank y'all for the love, thank y'all for the support. And before I start this episode, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that bell so y'all can get all notifications of my updates and further beyond. But yeah, man, I just want to send a shout out to everybody who's been supporting the show, supporting the channel. And I just had to do this episode real quickly because of the fact that it's my favorite rapper's birthday. He would have been 51 years old. Shout out to Tupac Shakur. Rest in peace, homie. And just wanted to say thank you for everything that you've done for me, as far as like the music, the movies, the revolutionary stuff. Tupac really saved my life when I was going through a hard time, when I was going through my depression. He saved my life. Only one that pretty much gave me the words of encouragement through the music to keep going no matter what. And it's just crazy because of the fact that, he's been dead for over 25 years and he's still impacting people. He's still um, touching everybody, all the young people, people my age and people who's older. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that he's never forgotten means a lot. But yeah, I'm going to talk about something that they don't talk about. How he shot two off-duty police officers in Atlanta, Georgia on Halloween 1993. And it just, a lot of people only know him as a rapper, but they don't really know him as the revolutionary, the community activist, the person who will pretty much will defend his people. And I pretty much did my research on this just all day, and it was just like a lot of holes in it because the media were trying to paint him as a menace, trying to paint him as a criminal and all this other shit, but he was a thug. He admitted it that he was always a thug. He wasn't no gangster, but it was just a lot of people didn't understand him. A lot of people didn't get the concept of what he was trying to do. I would say that he was misunderstood, but he fought for what he believed in, regardless of how he died. People got to look at what he lived and how he lived. And it's just unfortunate that he was only 25 when he died, but he was practically ahead of his time, being so young. And a lot of people forget he was like a kid. Just being 34 years old myself, remembering when I was 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, I'm grateful that I was able to make it to my 30s and just really realize like a lot of stuff that I did was, some of it was stupid and some of it was righteous. It was justly. So, but yeah, on this particular night between October 30th and Halloween, it was a night where he performed in Atlanta because he used to live in Atlanta as well. So he was in town doing a show for Clark Atlanta University. And after the show, he pretty much was going to go back to the hotel for an after party. And just so happens he see just two white men beating up this young brother, pulled him over and just was beating his ass. And he just saw that, and he got out the car. He was the first person to get out the car. It was 7 people pretty much with him, like from rappers, gang members, thugs, and this and that. But he was the first person to get out the car to confront these men. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? So an argument ensued, and they pretty much put a gun on him, and they said, "You better get back in the car, or I'm gonna shoot you." And he put up his shirt to show his thug life tattoo. He was like, "I ain't gonna run. Shoot me. I ain't gonna run. Do what you gotta do." So one of the officers, who was also brothers, later to find out that, um, went to his car and hit the passenger side window with the butt of the gun and shot it into the car. So they shot first. So then he goes into get his gun from his security guard. So he goes get his gun, and he got down to one knee, and he fired 3 times. So he got down on one knee so he can hit their legs. So one brother was shot in the back and his ass as well, buttocks basically. So he ain't think he hit any of them because they were so far away. You know what I'm saying? So this wasn't like close range. This was like had a head start type thing. So later on, he gets arrested in charge of shooting 2 off-duty police officers. And he had no idea that they was cops. He just saw a young man getting beat up by the police, so he decided to put everything on his career and on the line to defend him. And that was really unheard of back in the South, for any black man to shoot a white man like that, or 2 white men. It was unheard of. And he went to jail, and he was, facing all these charges. Um, Attempted murder, aggravated assault, um, having a deadly weapon, just a whole lot of crazy mess. And then he got um, set bail for $55,000 because around this time he was filming Above the Rim. So he had other cases pending and stuff like that, but this case could have really set him years away behind bars. So the trial starts practically around the same time that his rape case um, in New York. So he went on trial, and 2 of the brothers testified against his behalf. A few bystanders, witnesses, also testified. But then what let him off the hook was the fact that they found out that one of the cops, Scott and Mark Whitwell, they had a gun that they stolen from the evidence locker from the police station, and they was drunk, and they was harassing black people that night. And this happened on 17th and Peach Street, and they was just, you know, yelling racial extremities and harassing people. And just so happened that they didn't know um, who Tupac was or whatever like that. They claimed that, but their testimony um, was proven that they plagiarized in court. So all the charges was later dropped, and that was unheard of. And I believe because he was acquitted from all his charges, that's what led to everything else happened to him. That's what led when he got shot, how the police didn't care, and how the police didn't find pretty much who shot him, or they practically treated him like, oh, you deserved it. That's our payback type thing for you shooting those cops in Atlanta. So even though he got away with it, he was just always harassed by police, correctional officers, pretty much everybody who had anything to do with law. He was harassed. He was stopped in the middle of the street for no reason, just literally targeted. And this goes to really show people, like, he didn't like police. He been going through police and being harassed by the law since he was a kid because his mother was a Black Panther. So just imagine the FBI coming to your school and coming to your home, just harassing you, trying to intimidate you, because his bloodline alone was just infamous. His auntie is Ashada Shakur. His stepfather is Mutulu Shakur, Dr. Mutulu Shakur, excuse me. And his mother is Afina Shakur. And I'm going to do an episode on the Panther 21. And it was just his history with police and crime and everything. It's just been rooted from since he was a child, before he was even born, because he was actually in his mother's stomach while she was in jail and everything like that. So he just felt like he had to do something about it because nobody else intervened. And it's just really deep because he got beat up by the Oakland Police Department back in 1992. He got beat up pretty bad, got choked out in broad daylight, and he ended up winning $42,000 for that assault. And I just think that people just need to learn how to do their research before they judge. And no rapper has done that since. No rapper has, took out a gun and just defended just a stranger like that. And like I said, it was none of his business. He could have had just ignored it. He could have just walked it off his business, but he took it upon himself to get out the car and get them officers two hoes. But like I said, I admire him for that because you don't see that no more. You don't see that type of courage. You don't see that type of bravery these days. And you just have to respect a man like that. You gotta salute a man like that. But yeah, he ended up going to jail for some other shit. It was just open season on him after that. Just for him to be able to, you know, get shot 5 times and go to jail for a crime that he didn't commit. Because anybody who knows about that case and who read about it, you can tell that that was some bullshit. You can tell that he was being railroaded. You can tell that it was just a lot of inconsistencies in Ayanna Jackson's testimony, and it just was phony. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't like her after that, going on Vlad TV and talking about it. It's just really painted her even more guilty. So just the fact that he went through all of that and was able to get out of jail and gave us 2 bomb albums and more unreleased stuff just really showed his spirit and showed his courage and just showed just how strong he was. Because after reading his book, well, yeah, his book, um, that came out and stuff, John Potash is his name. Make sure y'all get this book. I have finally finished it. It's called the FBI War Against Tupac Shakur and Black Leaders. And he pretty much talks about how it was many assassination attempts on his life. So that could have been one of the assassinations attempts because, like I said, it was just very coincidental how um, that happened in front of his hotel. So it was just like they was waiting on him, and they shot at him, and so he should be considered a hero because he shot back. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's just so easy to paint this violent and criminal narrative on a man who didn't do anything except defend himself. And because he was a rapper, his last name was Shakur, it was over. And just the fact that he passed away in Vegas, and I still don't think that was over some gang stuff. That was orchestrated. That was a hit, and I don't care what anybody say. You know, they can say all day that he was trying to be a blood and that he jumped on the crib and blase blase, but at the end of the day, he was too powerful. He was a leader. He was our Malcolm X in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And he could have moved mountains with his voice, and his purpose that he had just for the communities was phenomenal. And he was planning a lot of big things. He was trying to start a youth football team. He was trying to get funding for community centers and all that type of stuff. And it's just, I feel like he was used, he was manipulated, but then he was just figuring it out. But then at the end of the day, certain people isn't gonna let you walk away after you was a puppet or you was doing that dirty work. So, but yeah, one thing I admire about Pac was he spoke from his heart. He died for what he believed in, and he told it like it is. You know, I can't say like it was because the shit that he was rapping about is still going on today. I believe that he wouldn't stood by and watched George Floyd get choked out. He would have done something about it. I respect him. Just the fact he did a meeting at the Indiana Black Expo and stuff like that with Khalil Muhammad and all those other people. Like he has a few speeches, and he was trying to get people to register to vote. Like there's a lot of good things about Pac that people don't know about. He was taking care of his entire family. He was looking out for people. He felt like he was the backbone because he was the breadwinner. Like he made sure everybody was was straight in his family, and he did a lot for strangers. And how can I say this? I miss him so much, even though I never met him. I miss him so much because his impact that he had on the world was just phenomenal. Just 25 years on this planet Earth, he done so much that people would never do. His work ethic is unmatched. He's the only dead rapper that had so many albums after he died, and like 7 year period. You know what I'm saying? That's untouchable. Like that's the king. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. And I always will love Pac from the bottom of my heart. I love Pac. But yeah, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? For him to to shoot two off-duty cops and get away with that, that was unheard of. That was goat goat shit. But yeah, I'm done with this episode, guys. I just want to say whoever tuned in, thank y'all. My Cash App is $ the 1804 show. If you want to donate to the channel, you want to donate to me because you want to, feel free. And last thing, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the 1804 Show Chapter 2. Peace.